We'll never forget. We have had calls, emails, telegrams, so much people asking to see those home runs one more time. We can't show you the game over again, but we can show you what happened last weekend as Sammy went nuts on the Brewers, and here it is.
Well, I'll tell you, have a player like Sammy Sosa. The score is 12-5, and everybody's still in the ballpark to see him hit one more time. As a matter of fact, they are on their feet. Deep to left field. Gone! Number 60, Sammy Sosa. Across the straight, they're going after it. Sammy Sosa joining McGuire, Maris, and Root as the only hitters ever to get 60 home runs or more in a season.
Cubs with a 3-run lead, looking for more. The 0-1. Swung and belted. There it goes. Number 61. Move over Maris.
Look at those folks waiting for number 62.
The net's almost unfair. The 2-1. Swung on, there she goes. Number 62. Move over, Big Mac. You got company.
Well, there they were. You talk about Goosebump City. You can still feel them out here at Wrigley Field. Guys, you were privileged enough to be able to call that. Steve, what was your impression?
My recollection of those games, Dan, will always be the two most exciting games back-to-back, perhaps in the history of Wrigley Field. Keyed by Sammy Sosa, certainly, but great comebacks on the part of the Chicago Cubs. I just don't think it gets any better than that.
And Dan, in a ballpark where you're full of cheers and beers, what I'm going to remember are the tears of Sammy Sosa. Finally, we saw for a moment, one brief split second, and a great camera shot caught by Arnie Harris and our crew, of a tear, a single tear rolling down Sammy Sosa's cheek once he hit that 60-second home run. For that split second, he showed he wasn't a robot hitting baseballs out of the ballpark. He was a human being, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful sight to see how well he's handled all this.
Yeah, that was one of a series of unbelievable pictures that we've seen during this home run chase and during the playoff run from St. Louis and from Chicago. And we'll have much more on all that coming up in the next hour, including Sammy's family, which is assembling down on the field behind home plate. We'll see every one of Sammy's home runs that he's hit this season before it's all said and done, and much, much more when we continue from Wrigley Field celebrating Sammy on WGN.
We gave him an award last night before the game, and I was sitting on this end of the bench, and I was watching him over there, and we made eye contact, you know, and he gave me the you know, and I said, now, you know, he's getting ready to come out here and get this award, and he still has a presence of mind to say hello, and it's been unbelievable. And so, you know, I just tip my cap, because both guys have carried the game, and it's really wonderful to see, and it's really wonderful to see the fan response that both guys have gotten around the country is just absolutely great.
On Unhappily, Tiffany kisses up to her professor to get an A.
I have to be the best suck-up the world has ever seen.
Taking care of his cat shouldn't be too hard.
You're the one that killed him.
Then, the WB's new comedy, The Army Show. Aiming high is a way of life for these guys.
I'm in supply, and my supply can meet your demand.
And they'd like to keep it that way.
Hopkins, your days of scheming are over. As long as I still have my evening, sir.
Unhappily, followed by The Army Show.
Tonight at 8 on WGN.
What did they have for dinner last night?
Hamburger and noodly stuff.
Maybe you should fill that space with stovetop a little more often. Just remember the stovetop and they'll remember the dinner. Stovetop stuffing. Everything else is just stuff.
All right.
Vogue Eyewear by Luxottica. What do you want people to see?
I want you to see where it all started.
Growing up doesn't equal growing old. I want you to see next year's trend.
Let them see you in Vogue Eyewear by Luxottica.
That looks tasty.
It's a big king. I got this one for free.
Gonna eat them both?
Not if you let me play baseball.
Baseball? Smell that, Coach. What position?
Shortstop. No, second base. And I want a bat, too.
Welcome aboard, slugger.
The Flame Broiled Big King gets like a Big Mac, but tastes better with 75% more beef. Buy one now, say it just tastes better, and get a second one free.
How'd you boys like to play ice hockey?
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Because of our passion for design and engineering, our vehicles speak for themselves. And recently, others have had some great things to say about our quality, too. Sebring Convertible, Total Quality Award. Town & Country, Total Quality Award. Cirrus, Best in Class and Initial Quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Concord, Best in Class and Initial Quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
It's Girlfriend Week on Seinfeld.
Oh, mamacita!
They're uninhibited.
How's the sexual chemistry?
Haven't been in the lab yet.
Unexpected.
She's a virgin.
I didn't know.
Well, it's not like spotting a toupee.
And unbelievable.
She's like a beautiful Godzilla.
Around thousands of fleeing Japanese.
Girlfriend Week.
I drive them to lesbianism, he brings them back.
All next week on Seinfeld. Check your local listings for time and station.
Celebrating Sammy today on WGN. The city has done its part, hanging banners from the light posts here in the Wrigleyville area and, of course, downtown as well. The bullseyes are up early today. Hoping to get one, and the big banner on the screen back behind left field. Wonder how many of those big banners are hanging on the south side today. You know, that's where Sammy's baseball roots here in Chicago are from. Certainly he started his Chicago portion of his career down on the south side, but his real roots are in the Dominican Republic, and his favorite countrymen are here in Chicago today. Sammy's family, and a lot of them. And for more on that, here's WGN's Jerry Orr.
It has been an unforgettable year for Sammy's wife and their 4 children. Sammy Jr., Keisha, Michael, and Kenya. Sleep tight. Sonia is a bit awed by all the excitement and publicity, but she has enjoyed watching Sammy electrify the crowds at Wrigley Field.
Very, very beautiful. You know, I'm so proud of him, and he's a good player, and I feel very, very happy.
Sammy and Sonia met 8 years ago and were married after a brief courtship, like 1 month.
Yeah, my mother said, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you gonna do?" And I said, "Oh, Mom, I'm gonna marry," you know. And she said, "Are you sure?" "No, you're so young. Wait, you can wait." And I said, "No, Mom, I love him and I want to marry to him."
She has her hands full with 4 young children and rarely goes to the games, but she's always watching on TV.
I'm excited, and you know, I just like, oh my God, he's going to the bat now, so please God, do something. You know, I'm so excited, I'm so happy, and when we do something, I'm happy. When he don't do anything, and I feel okay, I say, it's okay, tomorrow he can do it, so he can do tomorrow. Today, he got to forget it.
For the Cubs' last homestand, Sammy's family arrived from the Dominican Republic, including his brothers Luis, Juan, and Jose. Let's not forget his sisters Sonia and Raquel, and that's Mom in the middle, cheering for her special son.
Muy feliz, contenta, alegre.
She says she is so proud to see him play, the greatest moment she's ever had in her life. And the rest of the Sosa clan is basking in his glory.
I know he got ability to hit 40, 45 home run, but I never thought that he's going to hit 63, and who knows? It's unbelievable.
When I watch him when he swing, I wait for the number 62, 64 and 65.
Is it going to happen today?
Maybe.
Every year he's trying to improve. He's more better player, and who it is. This year, he broke the record. It makes me feel proud.
Sammy's family would love to see him beat Mark McGwire and set the home run record, but they'd rather see Sammy and the Cubs in the playoffs and the World Series. Jerry Ower, WGN Sports.
Well, terrific story there. Sammy's family in town for the celebration today, and so many more back in the Dominican. And we'll go live to the Dominican Republic a little bit later on in the show. Maybe the next stop on the Sosa tour of the U.S. Should be Cooperstown. The Hall of Fame people have been hovering over Sammy ever since this home run race heated up. And they have plenty of Sammy memorabilia in Cooperstown from the famous 60 and 61st and 62nd home runs. Jerseys, bats, balls, and even Chip Carey's scorecard from last Sunday is in the exhibit. That's not a bad deal.
I'm just proud that I was able to show that I can read and write, Dan, but it is a thrill. It is a special thing. And, it's great to see Sammy get the kind of recognition in the Hall of Fame that Mark McGwire has gotten as well. This is just an unbelievable treat, and I think they're going to have to build a much bigger exhibit because, as we said earlier, I don't think Mark's going to stop at 64, and I hope Sammy's not going to stop at 63.
And Steve, when the season began, we expected McGwire and maybe Ken Griffey Jr. or somebody else to paddle it out. Not Sammy Sosa, but here he is, 1 week to go, sitting on 63.
I think that's the amazing part about this year, Dan, is the fact that everybody in spring training was automatically talking about Ken Griffey Jr. and certainly Mark McGwire. And I think in some way, shape, or form, that helped take the pressure off Sammy Sosa. But here is Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire battling down to the end. And bear in mind, it's too early to crown a home run champion, because the home run champion is the man with not who broke the record first, but the man who winds up with the most home runs at the end. It could very well be Sammy. It could very well be Big Mac. But the fact is that Sammy is the most unlikely of the threesome to be here at the end, and yet, Dan, here he is. And one thing also, Dan, I wonder, with Ernie Banks here today, and Chip, maybe you can answer that, is it possible that Sammy could ever supplant Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, in the mind of Cub fans, or will he pull alongside of him?
Well, this is my first year here being in Chicago. As you know, I think Sammy's going to have to hit about 300 more home runs for that to happen. You're talking about Ernie Banks. I mean, this guy is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of player. But if Sammy Sosa has the privilege of playing for a World Series championship, something that Ernie Banks wasn't able to do here in Chicago, I think, yeah, that is a possibility. But for the current time, I like to liken it to the Michael Jordan situation. Michael Jordan, we're going to lose the privilege of watching Michael Jordan play basketball in the city of Chicago in the not-too-distant future, whether it's this year, next year, or beyond. Sammy Sosa, though, might be a guy who could somehow try to fill the shadow, fill the shoes of Michael Jordan. He's got a smile that lights up a room in a stadium and a bat that lights up a scoreboard. Now, if Sammy, for Cubs fans, can only do what Michael did, and that's bring some championships to Chicago's north side, then definitely I think that could happen.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a generational thing, and the new fans that are coming in, and there are a lot of them because of what's happened, may see Sammy as Mr. Cub when they get to be 30 and 40 and 50 years old. But we'll see how that goes down the line. Everybody proud of what Sammy's done this season. There's no question about that. And nobody's prouder than Sammy's teammates in the clubhouse, his Cub teammates. And here's some of what they had to say about what Sammy's accomplished in '98.
All right, well, Sammy, just want to say congratulations on a great year. It's been unbelievable, the excitement you've brought to the ballpark every day, and we've jumped on your shoulders and ridden you all year. We're going to continue to do so, but again, just tremendous year, MVP type year, and the whole ball club, the organization, the city, everybody's indebted to you. Just keep it going, buddy.
Sammy, from one home run hitter to another one, I'd like to congratulate you on your success, all the home runs you've hit. This is for you.
Sammy, congratulations. It's been a pleasure to play with you, and I'm sure glad I didn't have to face you.
Sammy. Zafiro.
Sammy, I know I've only been here a short time, but I tell you, I'm impressed, and I think what you've done is awesome, and you're a mighty ambassador for the game of baseball.
Well, I'd like to wish Sammy congratulations on hitting 63 so far, but, I really don't see the big deal because, he's got 500 and some at-bats, and if I had 500 some at-bats, I think I'd hit 63 at least, but, joking on aside, great job, Sammy. We're real proud of you, and you've carried us through this year, and I can't say enough, man. It's a big accomplishment, and we're all proud of you.
Sammy, felicidades en tu día. Espero que lo disfrutes. Realmente ha sido un año bastante bueno para ti, bastante bueno para la República Dominicana. Te deseo lo mejor del mundo de corazón.
Sammy, your old buddy Mark Grace, it's a special day for you. Congratulations once again on your great season and all those home runs. Once again, I'm proud of you.
Very happy teammates in this Cub clubhouse in 1998. We'll come back with much more from Wrigley Field as we celebrate Sammy this afternoon on WGN.
Sammy, congratulations. You're making us all very proud. Keep going. Keep pushing it.
I'd say congratulations, Sammy. You reached a lot of potential that a lot of people, like this side of town, didn't think you would reach. You've been a special player before. Very, very talented from day one. 5 skills, everyone knew that. Saying your potential was 60-something home runs, I don't know about that, but you had a great year, man. I'm proud of you, and we wish you the best on this side of town.
Sister is all new. Look out, Music World. It's Tia and Tamara.
Come see about me. See about me, baby.
Can showbiz mix with school?
Tia, you know what we need? New fingers if you don't get your hand out of my book.
Then Smart Guy. TJ's team needs coaches, but the guys are too busy.
Ain't that right, man?
No, I just don't want them.
Oh, yeah?
I'm Mo, assistant coach.
An all-new Smart Guy after Sister. Tonight at 7 on WGN.
I think the most important feeding is the one that you start in the fall, so your lawn starts to look healthier in the spring, and consequently, you need Scott's Winterizer. When I put down Winterizer in the fall, it allows us to develop a good, strong root base, and it allows the lawn to endure the winter weather, and you get a real early greening. This grass is beautiful, thick, deep green. People will stop by and say, "How'd you do that?" Scott's Winterizer gives the grass a kickstart in the fall and makes it really look great in the spring.
Opportunity, feel it, taste it. I went from Grambling to the big game, and I'm back to tell you. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Dig deep into your hunger. Stare it in the face and say, it just tastes better.
Now at Burger King, buy a tasty Big King sandwich and get one free when you say, it just tastes better. The Big King has 2 delicious flame broiled patties and tastes even better than the Big Mac.
You want it? Yeah! What do you say?
Burger King. If you ask us.
Brooks Brothers Eyewear by Luxottica. What do you want people to see?
I want you to see wisdom in a lucky man.
I want you to see that tradition doesn't have to be traditional.
Let them see you in Brooks Brothers Eyewear by Luxottica.
This is the final play of the championship game as seen by Jerry Schwartz, who didn't know that Energizer batteries outlast ordinary Duracell in his portable TV. Energizer, designed to keep your high-tech stuff going and going.
This used to be my life. I'd wake up morning after morning with my allergies driving me nuts. So I went to my doctor. As part of an overall treatment program, he recommended a Honeywell EnviroCare air cleaner. It uses the same HEPA filter technology hospitals use, and it helps to reduce airborne allergens in my room. I wish I'd done it sooner.
The Honeywell EnviroCare air cleaner, the #1 choice of physicians.
Well, there's the marquee at Wrigley Field today, calling attention to the Sammy Sosa celebration. A lot of people have seen that already. We're almost full here at Wrigley Field already, and the celebration isn't scheduled to begin until about 12:50 Chicago time. You know, back in San Diego this week when the Cubs played their 4-game series against the Padres, I had a chance to sit down and talk with Sammy for a little bit. As Tony Gwynn pointed out earlier, one of the amazing things about all this is how Sammy has been able to keep his composure amid all the pressure from media, from Mark McGwire, and from baseball itself, and whatever interior pressures are on him. You hear the crowd behind me. He's belting out home runs in batting practice already. Anyway, let's listen to what Sammy had to say about his magical season and about what lies ahead in this final week. Well, there's Mark McGwire, who's played such a huge role in this, and as we said, who has the lead at this moment in the home run chase, 64-63. Guys, you've been around this whole deal all season long, and you've had a chance to see, particularly in the last couple of weeks, the pressures that this guy's been under. And I truly have been amazed that he's been able to stay the same as he's been all the way through.
I think Sammy Sosa has handled it particularly well, and for some strange reason, I think he's almost taught Mark McGwire how to handle it, Dan, because earlier in the season, we heard from Mark McGwire that he felt like a caged animal. It was too humid in St. Louis, and then every night when he looked at the interviews, he saw a very happy Sammy Sosa just saying, Mark is the man, and yes, I'm hitting home runs, but Mark is the guy who's probably going to break it. And Sammy just greeted every day with a great enjoyment of being at the ballpark. And finally, Mark McGwire looked like he was having fun starting about a month and a half ago. And I really believe that Sammy Sosa from the beginning of the year was the guy that looked like he was enjoying each and every day of this very special season.
And Danny, Sammy is getting warmed up in grand fashion. I think he may have hit the house with a Budweiser sign on it with a shot from batting practice. He just hit a ball down Kenmore Avenue a second ago. And Steve's really right about this whole thing, Dan. You know, Mark McGwire from day one of spring training was expected to do this. From January 15th on, Mark McGwire was asked, are you going to hit 61 home runs? And you know, that's an awesome burden to have to go through for any player, and to see Mark McGwire do that is unbelievable. For Sammy Sosa, as Steve touched on earlier, he wasn't expected to do this. Everybody knew he was a 30-30 guy, a man who could hit 35, 40 home runs. But what impresses me the most about what Sammy has done is not only the fact that he's kept pace with Mark McGwire and actually has led for about an hour and 15 minutes, it seems. He's also helped his team win ball games, and really that's the ultimate thing. Nobody in that Cubs clubhouse bears any resentment at all towards Sammy Sosa for the incredible amount of attention and the incredible individual accomplishment that he's trying to chase, because Sammy Sosa has helped this Cub team win ball games. And that, fairly or unfairly, was, as Steve would say, a criticism of Sammy Sosa earlier in his Cub career.
I think Sammy Sosa has made the transition very smoothly this year from a guy who could always hit the ball out of the ballpark to a complete baseball player who's hitting for average, he's hitting for power, he's driving in big runs, he's producing with the bases loaded, he's driving in men from third with less than 2 outs. All of the things that he never did in the past, he's doing this year. And I think that's what's elevated Sammy to the next level. That's what's made Sammy into a superstar and the MVP.
MVP, no question. We'll find out that officially in a couple of months, but I'm pretty sure he's going to wind up with that trophy on his mantelpiece as well. Well, much more to come from Wrigley Field. We'll hear from Sammy and try and check in with his countrymen down in the Dominican when we roll on from Wrigley and elsewhere after this.
Hi, this is Vin Scully, the broadcaster of the Los Angeles Dodgers, honored and delighted to play a part in joining the thousands and thousands of fans of Sammy Sosa and saluting him on this day. What Sammy has done was reclaim the month of September, revitalize the game, redeem the memories of Roger Maris and Babe Ruth, and make us all feel so very, very good. So heartiest congratulations to Sammy Sosa. And Sammy, you've been very, very good to baseball.
Hot tires fueling out the door.
Feel the heat radiating out of your skin.
It's nasty hot.
We asked some of the hottest guys in the pits to switch antiperspirants.
Ultra Dry Degree, body heat activated.
Wow, I've never seen this before.
When your body heat rises, Degree Ultra Dry's powerful new form releases extra protection when you need it most.
This is one of the few products that can keep up with me.
It kept me dry. Ultra Dry.
Worked better than my old stick.
New Degree Ultra Dry. Now more than ever, your body heat turns it on.
The proof is in the pits.
Gee, that oatmeal was little. Yeah. You done with those sausages? You done with them hash browns? Sure. You need some help with that bacon? How did I get heartburn? All I had was oatmeal. Cutting my land.
Are you kidding? Aluminum and magnesium? You want Tums. Tums has calcium.
Tums calcium knocks out heartburn fast, then goes to your bones to help keep them stronger, longer.
How about a bag of donuts for the road?
How about a bottle of Tums?
Opportunity. Feel it. Taste it. I went from Grambling to the big game, and I'm back to tell you. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Dig deep into your hunger. Stare it in the face and say, it just tastes better.
Now at Burger King, buy a tasty Big King sandwich and get one free when you say, it just tastes better. The Big King has 2 delicious flame broiled patties and tastes even better than the Big Mac.
You want it? Yeah! What do you say?
Burger King. If you ask us.
It just tastes better.
The marvel of its aerodynamics, The sheer exhilaration of takeoff. It's enough to make an aerospace engineer jealous. Chrysler Concorde. Built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. And now, ranked best premium midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Chrysler. Engineered to be great cars.
So, what's another way your kid might use the word cheesy?
Cheesy?
Yeah, cheesy like your time. Mr. Z, talk to me.
Dad, your music? Cheesy.
Excellent, you guys, excellent. But remember, folks, cheesy can be a good thing. Velveeta shells and cheese. Kids totally crave those killer shells and rich, creamy cheese sauce. It's huge. Any questions?
How will I know if my kids like it?
Look for strange and unusual language like please or thank you, Mom. Velveeta shells and cheese. Kids crave the creamiest.
Back at Wrigley Field, all the flags atop the concourse have been replaced today. It's just Sammy and the Dominican Republic up there, and a lot of signage all over the ballpark. A terrific afternoon, and we've only just begun. And right now, a special guest joins us here at Wrigley Field, Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig. And Bud, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
What a special day. What does this mean for baseball, what Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire have done?
Well, you know, Chip, it's interesting. I a year ago said that I thought we were in the early stages of a renaissance, and then in March I said we were in the middle stages. And I'm given sometimes to exaggerate a little bit because I like to make a point, but we're there now. I mean, it's been a whole series of things. That doesn't mean that we don't have a lot to do. There is a lot to be done, and I know. But this year has been remarkable. When you think of their achievements and the magnitude of those achievements, coupled with the fact that in all my years, I've never seen two human beings handle themselves more gracefully, with more dignity, than Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire have done.
But after 1994, quite obviously, baseball took some very bad public relations. It seems to me that the young people are now coming back to the game once again. We see them in record numbers all over, and also with the chase of Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire and all the young people gravitating to the game. The great story of the Yankees, the great story of Kerry Wood, the great story of the Cubs in their pursuit of the wild card. This has to be the year that baseball has been waiting for quite some time.
Well, you know, Steve, in a certain sense, it may be our greatest year in history. You know, I'm a history buff, and I've gone back and I've studied attendance figures. We're headed for that 70 million mark, and I think if we don't have any bad weather anywhere, we have a chance at that. The excitement, look at, if you could orchestrate something, we're down to 7 days of the season. You got the wild card, New York and Chicago. That's exactly what you dream about. You got Sosa and McGwire breaking the most fabled record in sports. You've got a wild card race in the American League. You got a great American League West of it. You're setting up for an unbelievable October, which I know you all here would like very much to participate in.
Absolutely. And Bud, one last parting thing. We want to thank your Milwaukee Brewers, because without them, part of this wouldn't have been possible. Sammy said,
well, you know, Chip, that's right. And I, you know, in a great sense, I'm sorry I wasn't here. But as I told Sal Bando and Phil Gardner, you didn't have to help it that much that quickly.
Well, we've got 2 more shots at it up in Milwaukee. And again, thanks for taking time out.
Enjoyed it, and again, congratulations to all of you on a job really well done.
And to you as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Bud. And now, a little bit of tape that Cub fans will love to see, and opposing pitchers might see in their worst night. Hello there. In their worst nightmares. All of Sammy's 63 home runs from 1998. Back to back to back to back. You get the idea. Let's roll the tape.
Yeah, baby, you got 2 tonight, Sammy. Swung on, belted. He's got 20 this month. Swung on, belted. It's long gone.
The first grand slam in the career of Sammy Sosa.
And there they are, from 1 to 63. Every home run Sammy has hit in 1998, and of course, we hope for a few more before this final week of the baseball season is over. You know, Mark McGwire got a special gift on his big night in St. Louis, a blue, or red, I should say, 1961 Corvette. A little bit later on this afternoon, Sammy's going to wind up with a special gift as well. It's underneath that tarp, and we'll pull that off for you a little bit later on as we continue from Wrigley Field celebrating Sammy.
It's been unbelievable. And when you see the way Sammy's handling everything, a guy that came from the middle of nowhere, shining shoes in the Dominican, we all know what it's like. We all know what Sammy felt like before. And for him to overcome all those things, it's been like the greatest gift to his hometown, San Pedro de Macorís, the Dominican Republic, the athletes. For me, for myself, I feel proud of Sammy doing the things he's doing.
Dennis Sweeney has come home to 3 problems. His relationship.
I'm talking about my family.
Yeah, your family.
His brother's wife.
She said you saw a lawyer, you're going to separate.
You know, it's nothing you have to worry about.
And the woman from his past.
Big day for you. Big day for the town, maybe?
He's come home to a small town, destined for big changes.
Why do you suppose I came back? What do you think my motives are?
Hyperion Bay.
Premiering Monday night at 8 on WGN. Rogaine Extra Strength works for 4 out of 5 men.
What do you mean, works?
Regrows hair, or at least stops hair loss.
With my luck, I'll be that 5th guy.
Probably not. But here's our guarantee. Give Rogaine Extra Strength an honest chance. You be the judge. It stops hair loss, or regrows hair. More hair, thicker hair, faster, or we give your money back. Guaranteed. Rogaine Extra Strength works for you, or your money back.
I can't lose.
This is the final play of the championship game as seen by Jerry Schwartz, who didn't know that Energizer batteries outlast ordinary Duracell in his portable TV. Energizer, designed to keep your high-tech stuff going and going.
Anne Klein Eyewear by Luxottica. What do you want people to see?
I want you to see fearlessness.
The unexpected.
I want you to see you don't need words to make a statement.
Let them see you in Anne Klein Eyewear by Luxottica.
This used to be my life. I'd wake up morning after morning with my allergies driving me nuts. So I went to my doctor. As part of an overall treatment program, he recommended a Honeywell EnviroCare air cleaner. It uses the same HEPA filter technology hospitals use, and it helps to reduce airborne allergens in my room. I wish I'd done it sooner.
The Honeywell EnviroCare air cleaner, the #1 choice of physicians.
Okay, who had the double stack? Darn it.
Breakfast at your place may never be the same.
Orders up!
Because now Eggo's making pancakes.
Here you go, Bright Eyes.
Golden, fluffy pancakes that turn your microwave into a griddle. For a taste too good to let go any day of the week.
Who are they?
Truckers.
New Eggo pancakes makes every house a pancake house.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. Crowd gathering, the big banner hung up on the screen outside left field. Even the horses are here today as we celebrate Sammy at Wrigley Field. Dan Roan back at the ballpark. One man we have not heard from yet, and we plan to rectify that right now, is the guy on the other side of the most heated and gracious competition perhaps in baseball history, Mark McGwire. Here's Mark's offering to Sammy on his celebration day.
Well, I'll be sending him a telegram. So, of course, congratulations, Sammy. I hope they drive you out a blue 62 Corvette.
Well, maybe not that, but something else. I don't understand why Mark didn't just blow off the game in Milwaukee today and come down here and be part of all this.
You know what I think's really interesting, Dan, is that when you see a championship fight, you see the two combatants just hate one another, and sometimes they come to blows in the pre-fight press conference. But these two guys from the beginning have shown the greatest of admiration for one another. It's been such a gracious and such a genteel type of competition between them, with both guys rooting for one another. And I think that's what's made it so special. And the interaction of McGwire and Sosa at every big moment in the other's achievement of this year has been something that just sends chills up your spine.
And the reaction Sammy Sosa, Dan and Steve, has gotten around the country. Wherever we have gone, he's getting standing ovations from the enemy fans, as it were. Sammy's tipping his cap. The reception Sammy Sosa got in St. Louis by the Cardinal fans for all of the wonderfully gracious things Sammy said about Mark McGwire. It was all spine-tingling, and it really, as I said earlier, this is a race that neither man is going to lose, no matter who hits the highest number of home runs on the year, and those are the kinds of races I think fans of sports love everywhere.
There's no question Sammy's very sincere about what he said about Mark McGwire, but also you might think he's been as dumb like a fox during this because he's deflected a lot of the pressure toward McGwire and away from him.
Well, we talked earlier about the fact that he's not supposed to be here, and yet here he finds himself right in the middle of one of the classic races of all time. And not only that, Dan, but Sammy has something else to play for, and that is the wild card berth, postseason play, because Sammy Sosa in each and every game has more than just a home run chase on his mind. What he has is his ability and his strength and his speed and all of his attributes of his baseball game, trying to get the Cubs into the postseason for the first time since 1989. And sometimes, and in some way, shape, or form, that transcends the home run goal.
Well, as large a figure as Sammy has become here in Chicago and around the country, he is the ultimate national hero at this moment in his home country, the Dominican Republic. From San Pedro de Macorís, Bob Jordan of WGN. Well, not here quite yet, I guess. So before we get to Bob, let's hear from the man of the hour. I did talk to Sammy in San Diego last week, and very gracious as always, and here's our conversation.
To really tell you the truth, you know, I cannot explain what will happen, and the more that I think, you know, I cannot figure it out. So I just want to just keep it continue, just leave it like that, and never worry about it, what happening around, and you know, just keep having some fun.
How much do you think the change in your hitting style has meant to what's happened this year and your great success?
Before I used to be here up high. Now I drop down a little bit more, and I'm more comfortable. Before I used to be forward, now I'm back. So all my power is back. So when I do that, I can see the ball much better, and I have a very, you know, very reaction, and I can see what's a slide or fastball because I was thinking right center. I started working out last year in the winter time, and now came to the spring training, just keep going, and now look at what I've been doing.
What do you think when you look out and see this mob of people is it starting to close in on you a little bit?
Not really. No. You know, I don't think so that what I've been doing it is because I want to do it. I mean, I have a lot of appreciation for the people, what they've been showing me, and hey, for me it's a holiday every day.
Can you think of one thing that's happened this year that stands out above all the rest? Maybe the best is yet to come.
Well, I have to say I have one great month was June. That one I never forget.
3-2 pitch. Here it is. Curve swung on, belted deep toward left. He's got 20 this month. Oh, baby, he tomahawked it right out of the yard. Besides that, you know, I've been coming here every day. We've been playing real beautiful game. You know, and 61, 62 was something that was great for me too. So hey, you know, I have to tell you that I'm real pleased, and I have to say thank you, God, for giving me so much opportunity.
What's it going to be like when you finally get back home?
Oh, you don't want to know, but it's gonna be unbelievable. I mean, the whole country is going to be there for me, waiting for me, and it's going to be like a holiday, maybe for 2 weeks, who knows. And everybody going to be happy. I think that it's one of the situations that I can't wait to get back on. And when I jump in that plane, when everything is finished, when we're taking care of business here, and I'm going back home, it's going to be something unbelievable. I wish if anybody, you guys would be there to appreciation or to see, you know, how it is over there.
We may just do that. They love you not just for baseball. They love you for what you're doing for the kids. I mean, everybody knows about this computer thing. Oh, yeah. That's quite a gesture.
Well, definitely. I think that I never forget where I'm coming from, and I'm the type of guy that I like to be there. And you know, God gave me so much right now that I want to share with other people that don't have nothing. And I remember those days when I was there, when I was struggling, I always find somebody to help me. And I had that in my mind. I never forget. So anything that I can do for Key or for anybody up there, I will going to do it because this is me and that's the way that I am.
We'll ask you one more question and let you get out of here. Who is the man? Who's the man?
Mark McGwire is the man. I had to say that because everybody knows that. I mean, this is the first time that I had to say that I'm over 60 or past 50, I had to say. And it's been unbelievable, but, you know, I'm pulling for Mark. Everybody knows that. But now, in Chicago, I am the man. Excuse me, Michael.
That's right. In Chicago, Sammy is the man, and he's especially the man in San Pedro de Macorís. And Bob Jordan is now up live from the Dominican Republic. Bob?
Well, let me tell you one thing right now. If it looks like we're kind of in a cave or something right here, it's because we just lost power. And that happens from time to time here in the Dominican Republic. But it doesn't make any difference. Everybody is still sitting around the televisions waiting for the power to come back up so they can watch Sammy and watch Sammy's day. It may be Sammy's special day in Chicago, but every day is Sammy's day here in the Dominican Republic. And let me tell you something. Everyone is just enthralled with him. And so part of the reason is because he hasn't forgotten his roots. And let's take a look at where the next Sammy may come from. Perfecting that ball-crushing swing begins at an early age in the Dominican Republic. Check out this 4-year-old using a broken table leg and an empty plastic orange juice bottle. This Chico, not old enough for school, can send his friends time after time chasing their misshapen bottle. And young Edgar Soliano sometimes trades in his table leg bat for a skinny stick. Even so, the results are the same. Kiss that ball goodbye. You need to check your arm. You're leaving your arms up too high. Lower, lower. This is the training camp for the future Sammy Sosas. When Edgar becomes a few years older, he'll probably end up here in a baseball camp where his raw talents are refined. And if he can maintain a level of excellence, he'll gain valuable knowledge about the intricacies of the game. Keep checking the ball. Second base is here. And with luck, Edgar could end up here like Rafael Soliano. This broad-shouldered high school 16-year-old can knock a ball out of the park. People here call him the next Sammy Sosa. And of course, that's a dream for him as well. And he told me, yes, in the future, I want to be like him. I want to get to the big leagues, just like him. Here in the Dominican Republic, the players grow up tough. Imagine playing on a field like this that's not well-groomed or manicured. You slide into base on this field, and you're going to come away missing some skin. And as for the turf, if you can call it that, it's sparse and bumpy, meaning that you have to learn how to keep your eye on the ball. The coach says, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. How many outs? Junior, pay attention. But more than anything, these bright-eyed youngsters love baseball, and they love the competition, and they love Sammy Sosa. The record-breaking slugger probably started out on a field just like this one, and he may have started out knocking empty plastic orange juice bottles just like Edgar. And look where Sammy is today. As you can hear, everybody in here is just laughing themselves to death over that little kid. He was great. And that's the way it is here. These kids start out early, and they can really knock a baseball out of the park. And let me tell you something. We've got lots more pictures to feed you from here in the Dominican Republic, and we'll be sending them to you throughout the day. So don't forget, tune us in tonight at 9 o'clock, too. There's lots more from here. Live from Santo Domingo. I'm in San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. We're back to you guys.
All right, Bob Jordan, thank you very much. Great piece, and what a country, and what a group of baseball players have come out of that part of the world and played in the major leagues. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching Celebrating Sammy here on WGN. A special edition of The Leadoff Man comes your way next. The ceremony with Sammy Sosa celebrating his 63 home run season. Back in a minute.
I like it like that. I got soul.
you ask us, it just tastes better.
The chocolate vanilla swirls Jell-O pudding snack is based on my idea. I've been mixing Jell-O pudding flavors since I was a kid. Of course, my version didn't travel real well. But this little cup is inspired. Half luscious chocolate, half smooth, cool vanilla. And a heck of a lot nicer looking than anything I used to make.
Chocolate vanilla swirls Jell-O pudding snacks. Smile more. Move over candy bars. Chocolate meets caramel in pudding. New from Jell-O, also in fat-free.
Okay, who had the double stack? Partner.
Breakfast at your place may never be the same.
Order's up!
Because now Eggo's making pancakes.
Here you go, Bright Eyes.
Golden, fluffy pancakes that turn your microwave into a griddle. For a taste too good to let go any day of the week.
Who are they?
Truckers. New Eggo pancakes. Makes every house a pancake house.
The Leadoff Man. Brought to you by Elmhurst Dodge, Illinois' largest Dodge dealer because of the people.
Dan Roan back at Wrigley Field. Welcome to a very special edition of the Leadoff Man this afternoon here on WGN as we celebrate Sammy. We've got you covered from all angles of the ballpark here this afternoon. The dignitaries are assembling behind home plate and a lot of media out there to record it. The big balloon drop will be part of what takes place here, but a lot of dignitaries are here in the ballpark today. Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig, National League President Leonard Coleman. The Maris family is expected to have some representatives here as well, and a huge group of Sammy's family. Man, I'll tell you what, I bet the floor on the condo was very crowded over the weekend. A lot of people in town to be here with Sammy today and sharing his very special moment. There's a shot from the infield camera down near home plate. Chairs have been set up between home plate and the wall. There's one of the Maris sons right there, and then a group of other people here as well. Sammy's family is assembling down on the field, and I think we're just a couple of minutes away from getting this underway. And of course, afterward, the game to follow, and a good game it will be, and a game that the Cubs really need to win today after losing the first two in this series to the Reds. It'll be a battle of right-handers today. Pete Harnisch for Cincinnati against Kevin Tapani of the Cubs, and Tap trying for a personal and team milestone today as he goes for victory number 20. He would be the first Cub pitcher since Greg Maddux in 1992 to be a 20-game winner. He'll get a shot today and then a shot down in Houston against the Astros in the final series of the regular season. And of course, we hope the Cubs season lasts a little bit longer than that. As we begin play today, they are dead even with the New York Mets for the wild card spot, the final playoff spot in the National League. Crowd getting to its feet. The band is ready to play. And we are just about ready to roll from Wrigley Field. Chip Carey will be taking you through the ceremony this afternoon. An incredibly well-deserved honor for Sammy Sosa.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sammy Sosa celebration here at Wrigley Field. Now please direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome today's master of ceremonies, the voice of the Cubs on WGN television, Chip Carey.
Thank you, Paul. Hey, does this season have to end? What a year! Welcome to all of you great Cub fans to the most beautiful ballpark in all of baseball, the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Today, friends, we're here to celebrate one of the most exciting seasons in Chicago baseball history. And although the excitement and success that this 1998 Cubs team has brought to all baseball fans, it has without a doubt been a team effort. What a year for the Cubs. There is still the one player who has had a primary role in taking the season into the record books of sports history. He is, of course, the right fielder for the Chicago Cubs, Sammy Sosa. Baseball fans around the world are aware of his accomplishments this year. The fact that he surpassed Roger Maris's single-season home run record of 61 set in 1961.
Yeah.
Along the way, Sammy exceeded Hack Wilson's Cubs home run record of 56 set in 1930. And friends, how about that month of June when Sammy hit 20 home runs? For Sammy Sosa, this year has been a long list of memorable moments that earned proclamations from Governor Jim Edgar, and in May, Richard M. Daley designating today as Sammy Sosa Day in the state of Illinois and, of course, the city of Chicago. Friends, joining us here today to recognize these outstanding achievements is a group of esteemed guests who represent the many facets of Sammy's success here in 1998. It's a warm day, and I hope you'll extend a very warm welcome to Sammy Sosa's family. First, his lovely wife, Sonia. Their 4 beautiful children, Keisha, Kenya, Sammy Jr., and Michael, who had a 1-year-old birthday just the other day. Please welcome Sammy's mother, Lucretia. And his surrogate father, Bill Chase. And also please welcome Sammy's brothers and sisters, members of his extended family, and his best friends from the Dominican Republic. Welcome to you all. At this time, I would also like to recognize our esteemed guests here to honor Sammy today. Members of the Chicago Cubs front office. A trio of outstanding former Cubs players. Representatives from the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Major League Baseball, including the presidents of the American and National Leagues and dignitaries from the Dominican Republic. And finally, on behalf of the entire Chicago Cubs organization, a very special welcome to the Maris family. Thank you all so very much for joining us today. We also have a special letter from Sammy's partner in this season's home run race, St. Louis Cardinal Mark McGwire. And Mark's letter reads the following. Sammy Sosa, congratulations on your special day at Wrigley Field. We have shared an exciting and historic season that will be remembered for years to come. You have handled yourself with class and dignity and are to be commended for a fantastic 1998 season. Enjoy your day. Sincerely, Mark McGwire. And now, friends, on to the celebration. It's time for the presentation of the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award. Please welcome Commissioner Bud Selig and Sammy Sosa.
Sammy, on behalf of everybody in Major League Baseball, you have had an unbelievable year. Your achievements are legendary, but more importantly, you've handled yourself with a class and dignity that has been unparalleled. Your name will forever be linked to Ruth, Aaron, Maris, Ernie Banks, and Billy Williams. It is a great honor to me to present to you the Commissioner's Historic Award for your magnificent achievements. And I thank you, and I thank you above all for being what you've been.
Thank you very much, Mr. Commissioner. Friends, I hope you'll now please welcome a Hall of Famer who is currently the Secretary of State of Sports for the Dominican Republic. Please welcome Juan Marichal.
We are going to read the message sent by the President of the Dominican Republic to Sammy Sosa, which reads, "My distinguished friend, on behalf of the people and government of the Dominican Republic, I wish to convey to you, with great pleasure, our most sincere congratulations for your sports feats. You represent, at this time, the generosity and the spirit of goodness of the Dominican heart, as well as the strength and the prevalence of the national soul. All of us, your Dominican countrymen, have followed with almost irresistible enthusiasm your season of legends. And I want you to know that just as all of us bear the tricolor flag deep in our hearts, we also proudly carry our Sammy Sosa's number 21. Please accept, my distinguished friend, the assurances of my personal admiration and best wishes, Leonel Fernandez, President of the Dominican Republic.
Thank you, Mr. Marichal, and thank you, Secretary of State Hamid Herman. Thank you both very much for being here. Friends, I hope you'll please extend another warm Chicago welcome to a dignitary from the Dominican Republic, Dr. Jose Hazin.
In representation of the Congress in the Dominican Republic, we present el Senado de la República Dominicana resuelve, artículo primero, declarar al estelar Samuel Sammy Sosa, embajador deportivo de buena voluntad del pueblo dominicano a nivel mundial. Artículo segundo, declarar al singular deportista Samuel Sammy Sosa, hijo meritorio de la República Dominicana por sus grandes méritos alcanzados en el béisbol profesional de Grandes Ligas. Artículo tercero, realizar un acto solemne en el Palacio del Congreso Nacional para honrar a tan ilustre ciudadano con el presente reconocimiento a nombre y representación del pueblo dominicano, el cual constituirá en la entrega de un pergamino contentivo a la presente resolución. Y artículo 4, solicitar al Poder Ejecutivo declarar regocijo nacional el día el que regrese el ilustre deportista Sammy Sosa, dada en Santo Domingo, Distrito Nacional, capital de la República Dominicana, a los 15 días del mes de septiembre del año 1998.
Thank you, Dr. Hazim. And ladies and gentlemen, finally, I hope you'll please welcome the architect of the 1998 Chicago Cubs, the general manager, Mr. Ed Lynch.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. 1998 has certainly been a year to remember. Sandy, you have provided us with one of the greatest individual seasons in the history of Major League Baseball. Your phenomenal performance and infectious enthusiasm has been an inspiration to all of us, not only in Chicago and in the United States, but around the world as well. More importantly, Sammy, not only are you a great ball player, but I can attest to the fact that you are an outstanding husband, father, son, and teammate to every one of your teammates on the 1998 Chicago Cubs. I can say from the bottom of my heart, Sammy Sosa, I am proud and honored to have you as my friend. I don't think there's any way that we can properly show the depth of our appreciation and respect for all that you've accomplished in 1998 and throughout your entire career, Sammy. But we are certainly going to try. So at this time, please accept these gifts from our organization to you to honor you for the greatest season in the history of Chicago Cubs baseball. First of all, I'd like to bring on the fine manager of the Chicago Cubs, Mr. Jim Riggleman. Jimmy is presenting to Sammy a Tiffany Crystal Trophy commemorating his record-setting 1998 season. Secondly, I'd like to bring on Hall of Fame shortstop of the Chicago Cubs, number 14, Ernie Banks. Ernie Banks at this time will unveil an original painting by nationally renowned sports artist Malcolm Farley to commemorate Sammy Sosa and his record-setting year. Ernie? And lastly, if I could direct everyone's attention to the right field corner. At this time, we'd like to present Sammy with a brand new Chrysler Prowler convertible. Sammy, if I could please hand you the keys and the 1999 license plate to the new automobile, and the license plate simply says Sammy 98. Ladies and gentlemen, the most valuable player in the National League, Sammy Sosa.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you, God, for giving me so much opportunity to be who I am. The Commissioner of Baseball, Boss Selig, the President of the National League and American League, Liz Coleman, my family, Roger Mary family, and the other people from my country, Dominican Republic, that they're here today supporting me. The Chicago Core Organization, Gindaro, Andy Maffel, Ed Lynch, Larry Hine, my manager, coaches, and players, thank you very much for supporting me. And for all Latin American people that have been supporting me in 1998. Especially defending Chicago. 1998, it's been unbelievable. Chicago, I love you. And right field bleacher, I love you. Everything that I do in 1998, Chicago, you deserve it. You've been behind me 100%. And this made me something special. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you. Excuse me, I forget my family. My wife, my mother, my brothers, my friends. It's been unbelievable. It's been supporting me 100%. One more thing that I want to say, baseball being very, very good to me.